Welcome to another episode of Rate or Roast My Rig. I am here with co-host Mr. Josh Wildhorn, and we thought we would go over some rigs. We will rate them and or roast them. Now, I will also add that we have the first one up now, but beyond this first one, Josh hasn't seen these rigs. I picked these from the email, which is rateorroast@gmail.com if you'd like to submit. But yeah, going forward, he has not seen these rigs, with the exception of the first one. You ready to rate and or roast, Mr. Waldhorn?
Let's go.
All right. Okay, first rig. I like fender offsets. There's a lot going on here in the picture for me.
Just a lot of color overall.
It's a lot. Also, there's a whole bunch of rubber duckies at the top, on top of the amps. This is cute, but a little bit more weird. These guitars, this photo was taken at the house of that weird uncle that you only see every couple of years at Thanksgiving. In my opinion, what are your thoughts?
I appreciate that you put in the time to have it nicely laid out with all the colors and everything.
I appreciate that as well.
Maybe put in an extra couple minutes next time. Also, vacuum your floor.
You know what? We should get a vacuum sponsorship for Rate or Roast.
There you go.
Your pedal board is tidy. I like that. You have adequately used up the space on your pedal board. I love the Jaguars. The rubber duckies are a little weird for me. And also the 1983 stereo / record player just to the left is definitely calling for a Phil Collins record. But overall, I don't know. I would say this gets 3 out of 5 beards.
Yeah. Ooh.
This is clean.
That's clean.
It's real clean.
Also, that mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise? Believe it's mayonnaise.
That is one sexy guitar.
The Regius is an absolute stunner. Also, you don't really see combo amps in road cases all that often.
That's true.
You usually see 2 12 cabs and a separate head. I can't ever recall seeing a pro level rig, which I would define as being in a rolling rack case, with a combo.
Yeah.
You don't ever see that. Also, it's a KSR. The homie Kyle. I mean, what is this? It's an Orthos combo. So that's a really solid amp. This is a solid, clean rig. Actually, it doesn't really get any cleaner than this for live rigs. I can't really say anything bad about this.
Simple, straightforward, just one foot switch.
Right.
All the pedals that are just nicely in the rack.
You have to respect that.
So clean.
I'm gonna go ahead and give this rig 4.5 out of 5 beards.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Is this a rig? Is this the practice space, or is this the storage space?
I believe this is probably a spare bedroom in their parents' house. Just a guess. I'm not judging. I love the camo acoustic guitar. I love the PV Rage 158. It's one of my favorite amps ever. I love the Spider. What is going on in the guitar area on the right? I see a Pikachu. See a bunch of shoes. An AC machine.
Is that an AC? It's
in the back. I think it's an AC machine.
I'm kind of in between AC machine and maybe pet.
Oh, like a kennel.
Like a kennel, but that's small for a dog or a cat. So maybe some kind of rodent.
The rig is okay. What worries me is you took this photo and you went, "That's good.
That's good.
That's good." I'm gonna email this to Fluff. This is good. What would you give this rig, Josh? Go ahead and rate it.
Man, I mean, they do have a lot of ground covered in terms of tones between all those tons of guitars.
SG, Strat,
and the Line 6 amp. You can get a wide variety of tones there
for bedroom practicing. Sure,
I'd give it 2.5, maybe 3 beards.
Gotta be decisive.
Yeah, 2.5 beards.
2.5 beards.
I like that Epiphone Les Paul.
I like the Epiphone Les Paul too.
That is a nice finish.
Also, the fact that he has a Blackheart half stack. Those were basically, those were made by Crate. A lot of people didn't realize that at the time. The Blackhearts were actually really cool amps. They originally came out with a really tiny, it's like a 5 watt or 10 watt combo that were all tube and the highly modifiable. Cool amps. He has a Jet City combo, and he has that tiny Marshall. He has his skateboard. The wall is very, very colorful, and just out of frame, you see the edge of a Pulp Fiction poster.
It's a solid space overall. And the pedal board, it's organized.
It's simple and effective.
Yeah, it's got your grounds covered.
Yeah, nothing crazy. I would go ahead and give this rig 3.5 out of 5 beards.
Sounds about right. Oh man,
this rig is all of the sick.
That orange base stack is just,
dude.
Oof, I'm getting
honestly this basement is the kind of basement that I want to be killed in. I think I can say, you know what? If the axe murderer that clearly lives here drug me down to the basement, I'm like, hey, is that an orange 812? And then I'd probably get stabbed. But you know what? I'd be okay with it because that's an orange 810, an old school orange 810. You have a hovercraft amp. You just have a bunch of orange Marshall with the Explorer. You also have the converged Jane Doe banner behind the two Marshall cabs.
All sorts of wind. That Explorer though, that's,
dude, kill me now,
man.
That's sick.
I want to be in this room.
Yeah, this basement is absolutely awesome. Yeah. I would go ahead and give this 4.5 out of 5 beers myself, Josh.
Honestly, I'm gonna go in with a 5 out of 5 beers on this one.
Ooh, Josh's first 5 out of 5.
That is a sick room.
Okay, you earned it, pal. We have to place where we're at. Is this a front room?
What? I mean, there's
a little mantle thing where you normally would put a TV. I think this is what I'm looking at.
There's just a lot going on here, but as I'm looking at all the individual elements, the more and more I like this. I have to say. I mean, it's
creative.
The Thunderbird is cool. I love those.
I like Thunderbirds as well. I respect for the Roland amp, the Hughes and Kentner combo, and the tiny Boss Katana. Respect. He has a vocal mic on the left, so he's prepared. He's covering all sorts of ground.
What kind of mic is that?
You know what? I don't know. I think it's an MXL or something.
It's like 87 looking, but it's definitely not a Neumann. That's for sure. But it's also not like a clone straight, like a Stam clone or something.
No. I'm not sure what that is. It's weird that he has his pedals lined up on the little piece of furniture. Why wouldn't those be on the ground? I'm not sure.
Maybe he's just like sitting in front of that, like,
your power strip situation. Your power strip situation is giving me anxiety. I'll just go ahead and say that.
Maybe invest in a couple guitar stands.
I would invest some in guitar stands, guys. We've talked about this before. Also, a vacuum. You'll see this a lot, Josh.
Right.
You need a vacuum and guitar stands. You know what? We're gonna get this sponsored by Hoover and Hercules stands.
There we go.
I think that's that should be a goal for the channel. What would you give this rig? How would you rate this?
3.5 stars. 3.5 beards. Not stars.
3.5 beards.
3.5 beards. There's some solid stuff going on.
I think that's pretty generous.
It's pretty generous,
but we're gonna go with 3.5.
I'm feeling generous on this one.
Okay, 3.5 out of 5 beards it is. Now this rig. Okay, this rig is awesome for a few different reasons, but what this instantly makes me think is like, your wife was clearly like, I don't want your stuff in the house. And you were like, honey, it's my house too. And she was like, okay, fine. Whatever you can put in that corner, you can keep. And you were like, okay. And you just started stacking vertically because you want to keep all your stuff. That's what this makes me think. This is a teeny tiny corner, like on the way to a garage. Now, I like your Gibsons. You have 2 SGs and the P90 SG. That's awesome. And TV yellow, a couple of Dan Electro pedals. Your pedal board is cool. You have some weird box with a red light. And you have vertically stacked cabs because you're trying to make the most of the space you have with an orange OR15 amp. You know what? Nicely done. I can't not respect that.
With that, like, it's like a book or a painting or something. I'm just getting like altar vibes from this whole setup.
It's the tone altar,
it's
Josh.
It's the tone altar. It feels like you're like get home after a day of work and like go to your corner and like pray to the tone gods.
Praying, you strum one low E chord and you let it ring out. That's just my guess.
I mean, you got room for expanding to one more guitar.
You do. You know what? And I think I see some width there on that right side, pal. You could probably fit another cabinet, maybe vertically. As far as ratings, I would also give this one 3.5 out of 5 beards.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's go 3.5 out of 5 beards.
Oh man.
Okay. When I Google anxiety and multi-personality disorders, this is what I see. This is what I picture as schizophrenic for several reasons. First and foremost, I'm going to hope you're in a garage, because there's a toolbox on the right side. There's some cleaner. There's a bottle cleaner on the left-hand side. There's a bucket full of God knows what behind you. The floor is filthy. I mean, this could be your bedroom for all I know. The cable situation, please just shoot me. I don't want to deal with that. Your amplifiers, you literally get the amplifiers and you're like, you know what? I hate head shells. Screw head shells. Get those things out of there. I don't want to be categorized by wood boxes. I want to get out of the box. I don't want to be the man of the box. So you take your amplifiers out of the head shells for some reason, but you have a Strat and you have an Explorer-ish kind of guitar, and you have what looks to be possibly, I don't even know what that is, a Kiesel of some sort, a Carvin or something, a Dean. I'm not really sure, but this whole thing gives me anxiety and I don't like it. I need an aspirin. I'm getting a migraine.
Seems like you like to take things apart and then put them back together. Except you don't get to the putting them back together part.
Okay, what would you rate this rig, Josh?
Oh man, I mean, there's an Explorer, which is always gonna get me. That being said,
fair.
2.5 beards.
Okay, the man spoke. 2.5 beards. And last, but certainly not least, we have what I like to call the Budweiser rig.
All right. Okay.
Now,
Explorer.
Okay, so you already won Josh's heart with an Explorer.
Every time.
You clearly like your alcohol because you have a flag on your Marshall cab that says Budweiser, and then you have a cutout of Budman, the Budweiser logo, up against the wall.
That's what I didn't realize that.
I didn't realize that when I chose this photo either. I just now noticed, like, wait, that's another Budweiser thing. You really enjoy Budweiser. But beyond that, you have a 5150 50-watt head, which is one of the best high gain amplifiers of all time.
Can't go wrong with that.
Undisputed. You have a fairly tidy rack. I like that the orange is inside, utilizing that space. You don't have a pedal board, which I don't know if you need one for that few pedals, but it kind of drives me nuts that it's that messy. You could definitely mount the foot switch. But overall, it's not that bad of a rig. It's pretty decent.
Shout out to the cables being coiled on top of the rack.
Extra points for that.
Extra points for sure.
Having said that, I would still only give this rig, oh man, 3.5?
3? I mean, it's an Explorer and a 5150. It's like,
I feel like combo, that's in, yeah.
You can't get bad. I mean, you can get bad tones, but you also can't not get bad tones if you know what you're doing.
Well, so 3?
3.
Okay.
3 beards.
3 beards out of 5. And that does it for another episode of Rate or Roast My Rig. Josh, what'd you think of your first Rate or Roast My Rig?
That was cool. I love seeing all the kinds of setups that people have out there.
Very diverse.
There's some weird stuff happening, not gonna lie. I'm still thinking about those duckies. Like,
why the rubber ducks? I want answers. But anyway, if you want to submit your own rig for rating and or roasting, feel free to shoot an email on over to us at rateorroast@gmail.com. And we will see you next time. Fluff out.
Josh out.